W.F. Howes presents an unabridged recording of Karma Doll by Jonathan Ames, narrated by Jonathan Ames.
For Jason. The Buddha emerged from the forest, calm and magnificent. The villagers, drawn to his radiance and equanimity, approached him and asked, "Are you a god?" "No," he said, sweetly. "Are you an angel of God?" they asked. He smiled. "No, I am not." "What are you then?" "I am awake," he said, simply. Buddhist parable adapted from the Dona Sutta. Part 1. 1. The ancient-looking doctor, with half his face in shadow, seemed to be leering at me. He was also busy drying his hands on his dirty lab coat, which had a smattering of bloodstains more brown than red. For my part, I was sitting on his examining table, stripped to the waist, my feet dangling like I was a little boy with a bullet in his shoulder. It was 2 a.m. and very dark outside, and the only light in the room came from a weak bulb in the ceiling, fluttered at by a moth who had mistaken it for the moon and would be dead by morning. Of course I knew about such things, having flown toward false moons all my life. Then the doctor stopped drying his hands, at least he had washed them, and said, "You have an interesting face, almost Jewish." "That's what all the girls tell me," I said. That made him smile, and I got a glimpse of old yellow teeth, which went nicely with his jaundiced bald head. Then he extinguished the smile and said, "What caliber is the bullet?" Caliber sounded like calabar coming out of his mouth, and he spoke English well enough, flawlessly even, but did so with a strange Russo-Mex accent, on account of the fact that he was a Russian Jew who had washed up in Mexico City in the early 80s, when the Soviets were getting rid of their Jews. A bit of information he had already imparted to me. He was a talkative old man. And I said, "I don't know the caliber. It was a rifle." "Hunting accident?" he asked, knowing full well it wasn't. "Yeah, hunting accident," I said, and he nodded, smiling to himself, and began removing the flimsy gauze bandages I had applied to my shoulder. While he worked, his little pink tongue kept darting out from between his lips, wetting a small blister, which I tried to tell myself was a cut from shaving, but I knew otherwise. He turned on a surgical lamp to better see what he was doing. In his
Sample complete. Ready to continue?